This is Kartchner Caverns State Park Campground. Just coming in the entrance. As you see when you first come in, there are 4 cabins. That would be something that could be beneficial if you were camping with family and didn't have camper space for everybody. So we'll start down the first sites here. The first 6, I think, are pull-throughs, camp host on the end. So this is site 1. As you can see, the sites are pretty spacious, fairly level. We didn't have to do much leveling in our site. The power is 50 amp. Water is here, no sewer. This is site 2. You'll notice they don't have their water connected. The water pressure here is kind of low. We ran into an issue with it, and although ours is still connected, we're not using the water, it's turned off. This is site 3. So as you can see, there's a lot of space between the sites. This is us here in site 4. Again, leveling was no issue. We haven't used it, but if we were to use the picnic table, I think I'd slide it between the trees. In this space here between our site and site 5, there was a cottontail rabbit this morning, just out eating some grass. This is site 5. Again, pull through, pretty level. Lots of birds here in the morning, actually all day long. This is site 6. This is site 8, which is a camp host site. Across the way are sites 7 and 9. This is site 10, another camp host. I'm going to walk through this site to show you 7 and 9 because they're the only 2 on this road. Camp hosts here do have septic, so that could be a benefit if you wanted to look at camp hosting here. So that's site 9 and this is site 7. They're both back-end sites, but again, nice and spacious, nice and level. There are a few sites here that aren't as level, but generally most of the sites here are really good. There's your bathhouse. Showers are nice. They're clean. Again, low water pressure. So you may ask why the low water pressure is a problem, and it was a problem for us because our toilet wouldn't stop running. There wasn't enough pressure to turn off the fill valve. So if you left the water turned on, it would overfill the valve and the toilet would run over. So that's site 11. Not quite as level there, but a good site if you're in a trailer. Site 12, same, tilts a lot toward the front. As we move over here, a lot of the sites get more on level. This is site 14 on the inside. The sites are as the numbers connect the road for the most part, but not all of them are that way. This is site 13. If you see there, you can see how unlevel they were. I don't know that I'm a fan of having the front wheels off the ground, but that site, he is a good 6 inches from being level. This is site 15. 15 is a nice level site. Site 16, again, could be a problem if you're in a motorhome. This is site 17. 17 is fairly level. Good morning. This is site 18. You may be able to actually see the slope in this one. It tips a lot toward the front. So if you're in a trailer, you might be okay, but in a motorhome, it would be tough. This is site 19. 19's nice and level, nice and wide. Back at site 17, the Foothills Trail goes off right there. Not a bad trail, roughly 2 miles. This is site 21. It leans from the inside to the outside as well as forward. This site 20. 20 is a pretty level site. Site 22. Site 23. Here's a path that takes you over to the Discovery Center, which is essentially the visitor center for the cave. The cave tour is worth it. It's not the best cave we've been in by far, but if you don't do a lot of caves, you'll find it interesting. And it's well developed. Site 24. Site 25. 25 leans again to the outside and down to the front. This is site 26. Site 27, and you can probably see the lean in that one also. Leans from the inside to the outside and down in the front. Seems to be a common theme on a lot of these sites. This is site 28. It looks pretty flat, but it does tilt toward the front. Good for a trailer, probably not so good for a motorhome. This is site 29. Pretty good slope to the front. You'd probably be like the guy back there, 6 inches off. This is site 30. Site 30 leans to the inside, to the outside, and slopes down. This is site 31. It's not too bad. The front corner here is lower, so there would be some leveling involved in that as well. Site 32. This would be a nice back-end site. Leveling may be a little bit of an issue, but your view out your slide would be of the mountains. Be a pretty nice site. Site 33. And as you can see, he needed quite a bit of blocking on the passenger side and on the front. This is site 34. Slope's pretty good to the front. That's the other bathhouse. And we have not used the shower yet, just because of the water issue. This is the second loop. That's site 44. Leans a lot to the front. I'm going to go down the first road here because that'll keep the site numbers more traveling up. So this is site 36. It's an accessible site and it is pretty level. Site 35, an accessible pull-through site. Again, pretty level, maybe a little low on this end. Site 38. This one looks like a good site to me. It looks pretty level and you have a little bit of shade. Site 37. A little low on this end, but if you put your front end all the way to the front, you could probably level okay. Site 39. This one tilts a little bit from the picnic table side to the other side. This is site 40. The site seems pretty level, but it's a little side-to-side tilt, as you can see. This is site 41. Looks like another level site on the inside. This is site 42. Trailer would probably be okay, but motorhome might be an issue. Site 43 leans toward the front and away from the picnic table, so leveling there, again, could be a little bit of a problem. And now we're going to get some sites that are out of order because I went on the inside loop. So this is site 51, very long site, and it slopes a little bit toward the picnic table, but I think you could level in there with just about anything. This is site 52, and if you got all the way at the back, you could probably level a motorhome. If you were anywhere near the front, it slopes pretty significantly. This is site 53. 53 slopes to the front and away from the picnic table. Site 54, and it slopes toward the front here. Might be able to level a motorhome there, but I think you would be at risk. All of these sites look like they would work fine with trailers, where you can be a little less concerned with actually leveling because you're only leveling around one set of wheels. This is site 56. 56 seems to be pretty level if you're on the picnic table side. If you move to the other side, it slopes a little bit in the front. This is site 55, and it slopes to the exit, and you can see they have put quite a bit of blocking in the front. You might be able to see the actual angle between the level trailer and the pad there. This is site 57. 57 seems to be pretty level. It's a little shorter than most. Site 58. 58 slopes to the front here. You could probably level, but it may be a little bit tricky. This is site 59. I think if you're in a motorhome, on this site your best bet is to pull farther forward. At this end it's a little low, and it also tilts a bit toward the picnic table. This is site 60. 60 is pretty level on the picnic table side, but has a little bit of a slope on the front corner here. This is site 62. It's one of the camp hosts, and if you look here you can see that they had to lower the front end quite a bit to get level. This is site 61. It's another camp host site, and it also has a little bit of a slope to it. I'm going to walk through the path here to the bathhouse because we need to catch those last couple on the other end here. In general, this is a very nice park. We're here in May, middle of May. I think today is the 17th. Kind of hard to tell when you're traveling all the time right now. But we had decent weather, highs in the mid 80s, overnight lows around 64, 65. So in general, pretty decent weather. I'm an early riser, so I've been hiking the trails every morning, and it's decent. Sunrise is very early, about 5:30 here. It's light enough to go walking by 5:15. So if you're an early riser, you can catch that cool weather to do your hikes. This is site 45, has a pretty significant slope to the front. It's another access to the Foothills Loop Trail. This is site 46. 46 seems to be a pretty level site, and it would be a choice for me just because it's easy access to the trails and has a little bit of shade coming in on the sides. These are the pull-throughs we already walked through. This is site 47. 47 seems to be fairly level. I think you'd be okay there with a motorhome. This is site 48. 48 has a little bit of a lean toward the picnic table, especially near the front here. But again, I think you would level okay. Your steps may be a ways off the ground. This is site 49. Looks like he managed to level without too much difficulty, but if you look, his steps are quite a ways up, and that's part of the problem when you have a side-to-side slope. This is site 50. 50 seems to be pretty level all the way through. Maybe a little slope toward the picnic table. And then we have a path here to the Discovery Center. And then we move on to 51, which is something I covered in the last video.